It's Saturday afternoon, and what better time to drink whiskey? I don't have to go to work until Sunday night, so and I had a good sleep. I slept like 14 or 15 hours since yesterday afternoon. Woke up in the morning feeling refreshed and feeling good, and so I'm gonna have some whiskey. Right here, I have Shelter Point Forbidden batch number 2. And the thing about the Forbidden batch number 2 is that it's made from wheat. It's 100% wheat, and it's 100% malted wheat. The Scotch Malt Whisky Society, or whatever they call themselves, does not allow malted wheat. And so it's a forbidden whiskey. But really, the reason why they called it forbidden was it's named after Forbidden Plateau, which is an abandoned ski hill. I think it's still an abandoned ski hill, where close to the distillery at Shelter Point. And I actually been there one time. It was my longest taxi fare, but I'll save that for another time if I haven't talked about it yet. Shelter Point Forbidden Batch 2, bottled at 47% alcohol by volume. I think I have a bill of sale here, or some reasonable facsimile thereof. It is not this one. Yes, it is. Forbidden Batch 2, quantity 1 of 1. And it does not say here how much I paid. But this is the receipt, so to speak. Ship 2. Well, I'll see if I can find that in my emails. I know I had it in my emails somewhere. And I recall, what's the date on that? The date on that was April 9th. So now we're into May. April 9th. April 9th. That would have been here. January, February, March. April 9th. April 9th. Shelter Point order. Here it is. Shelter Point Forbidden Batch 2. 750 mils times 1 for $73.91. And the taxes for that would have been okay, 7.39 divided by 2. Okay, the BC liquor tax, no, the goods and services tax, $3.69 plus 7.39 would be the liquor tax plus the grand total of $73.91 is equal to, or should I put 73? Damn. Start again. 73.9 divided by 2 plus 73.9 plus that's 110.85 plus 73.91. Okay, $75.02 out in the mail. And the reason why I didn't pay any postage was because, because you buy 2 bottles or you spend more than, I think, $90 and they give you the shipping for free. So I bought this in a Montfort lot 151 single grain, which is actually unmalted barley. So here we got malted wheat. The other one is unmalted barley. And I've talked about the other one in another video. So we can shut the mail off and keep going from there. Hopefully we didn't drop any frames while shooting video and checking the mail at the same time. I should open this, shouldn't I? This is the Forbidden Batch number 2. bottled at 47% alcohol by volume, which is a little down from last year's batch 1. The batch 1 was bottled at 49.8, so almost 2% alcohol by volume less on the new one. Now let's get this thing peeled off here. Get all the plastic off of that. Come on. Did I screw up with this? Oh, crap. That's not the way it was supposed to open. It was supposed to open like the batch 1 that I have here, like this. You push it sideways and it opens itself. But I digress. This is plastic all over it. It is also my first whiskey of the day. Well, my second one to actually drink. I started with an Alberta Premium just to warm up. And no, this is not a giant bottle. This is a tiny glass. These are the kind of glasses you get from the distilleries in Scotland, or you used to get them from the distilleries in Scotland for, you know, trying out their wares in the warehouses or in their tasting rooms. Smells grassy. A little bit weedy, but not much. Not weed as in weed, but wheat as in they put in the bread. I also have, as I mentioned, the batch 1 from last year. This is the batch 1 from last year. Bottle 663 out of 687. I picked this up last summer on the way back from a trip, a camping trip and a trip to Shelter Point. Actually, 2 trips to Shelter Point, because I was able to get the what is it, smoke. I have it right there. Smoke Point. I was able to get the Smoke Point and the single casks, the smoky single cask one at the distillery, but a week apart. So I went to the distillery, went camping for a week, went back to the distillery looking for the single barrel, the smoky single barrel, and I got that one. But I didn't get this. I didn't get this there. I ended up getting this on the way back home from in Duncan. And this one here, the batch number 2 Forbidden, does not have a bottle number. So the batch 1, I have bottle 663 out of 687. But the other, the batch 2, they don't number the bottles, so it doesn't say how many bottles they have. Okay, batch 2 at 47%. Yeah, a little smell of wheat. Also quite grassy. I'm getting some of that characteristic Tootsie Roll chocolate. I almost always get from Shelter Point. That Tootsie Roll chocolate must be something having to do with the shape of the still, or I don't know what, but it's wonderful. It's light, it's fresh. Just a little bit malty. It's a little bit sweet. It's grassy. Oh, that is deliciously sweet and grassy. Getting a little bit of pear also. Pear syrup. It's quite concentrated. Oh, and does that go down easy? Very easy. What does the batch 1 smell like? I know this is an unfair comparison because this has been open March, April, May, 3 or 4 months, and it's halfway down the bottle. Ah, and you know what? That pear syrup note from the Forbidden Batch 2 is still on my tongue after a gulp of water. It is just hanging in there, and hanging in there, and hanging in there. I don't remember such a long finish from the batch number 1, but let's give batch number 1 another go here. Again, we have a tiny little glass. This one is from Beaumont, and the other one was from, the glass was from Kilchoman. It's a Kilchoman glass, and this is a Beaumont glass. Now, the question is, how will the Shelter Point batch 1 that's been open for 3 or 4 months fare in comparison? It seems to have less of a nose than the batch 2. Batch 2 is giving me pear syrup. It's also giving me a little bit of that wheat. And what else did I say was in there? Before I sipped it, there was some other element to it. Okay, more of a nose on the batch 2 than on the batch 1. Batch 1 smells fresh. Just a freshness, like fresh laundry that's been hanging out in the sun to dry. And it's almost completely dry. It's so faint, there's almost no. Getting a little bit. It doesn't smell as sweet as the batch 2. The batch 2 has a sweet smell to it. Along with that pear syrup. I'm getting the Tootsie Roll too. And that's on the batch 2. Batch 1 isn't giving me much on the nose at all. Well, I'll see what I'm getting on the palate for the batch 1. I remember it being very light and easy drinking. Oh yeah. I'm getting a sweetness. I'm getting some more of that pear syrup like I was getting in the batch 2. But you can tell there's a little bit of an alcohol burn on this one, which it's very slight. It's very slight, but this is like almost 50%. There's a little bit of an alcohol burn. There's a bit of a hug, and I wasn't getting that much of a hug on the 47% on the batch 2. The batch 1 has a finish. It's a dry finish. It's not as fruity as the batch 2. But to be honest, and to be, fair, this one here has just been opened. It's still on the neck, and this one here has been open for a few months. Batch 2 again. Yeah, I think they put together the batch 2 for the people who didn't get the batch 1, and the batch 1 was only limited to 687 bottles. It was hard to get. It was sold out at the distillery already when I got there, and it had only been out for maybe a week or two. And I managed to get it at a store in Duncan on the way back from the distillery back down to Victoria here. I kind of like these little glasses. You don't get so wasted on them. I mean, I pour to the fattest point, but I want to make my videos this week and still be reasonably coherent at the end of it, because I do have a few whiskeys to go. Batch 1 again. Batch 2 has that terrific long syrupy pear aftertaste. And now, after the batch 1 has opened up a little bit, on the left nose, yeah, I'm getting some of that pear syrup. They're almost identical, except that the batch 2 has a longer aftertaste. It has a longer finish. And the batch 1 has a bit of a hug, and you can tell there's more alcohol in it. Even though it's only 2% more, it's evident. It stings the tongue just a little bit. And this is only my second whiskey of the night, or these two collectively are only my second whiskey of the night, or of the day, because that's daylight back there. I have the drapes open a little bit just to let in some daylight to illuminate in real sunlight the boxes and tubes back there of whiskeys past. Both of these are delicious. Both of these Shelter Point Forbiddens are nice and light, easy to drink, but watch out. There's a high enough ABV there to catch you on guard. This is not no 40% alcohol by volume whiskey. It punches, even though it tastes really light. So, on that note, cheers. And what I'm going to do is mix them, leaving me with another sample. How do they work together? I'm getting a lot more wood on the sum of the two than on each of those by themselves. Much more woody. Where did that come from? I don't know. This would be approximately 48.5% alcohol by volume. Yeah. This one combines it's a lot more woody than either of those. You get oak tannins, which I was not getting before, which is strange. Very strange. Either way, each one separate, and the mixture of the two, I like them all. Cheers.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Yeah.